Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, 14-year veteran Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers take on Alex Smith and the Washington Redskins. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Just a few moments ago, it was the Redskin defense being introduced, and the largest cheers went for their Pro Bowl quarterback, Josh Norman, as he and his guys get set to do battle with the Green Bay Packers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they enter play here. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. They go play action here on first down. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
A first carry down for Rob Kelly. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Again, this is Kelly. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Josh Jackson, the former Iowa Hawkeye, made the play defensively.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Third and long, it's Smith. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So on fourth down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken at the 18. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And it'll be Packer football here, first down and 10. So good field position for the Packers as they come up first and 10. Now the first carry for Ty Montgomery. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Rodgers to throw on second down. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him to first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Rodgers now on first down. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Steps away to his left. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. 20! And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and the Redskins scoop it. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Smith. Crowder's got it over the middle. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It'll be a Redskin first down as Smith hits Crowder. They'll hand it off to Kelly. They'll get to him just inside the 15-yard line. And even after that fancy footwork we saw, a good job defensively to recover. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A shotgun snap for Smith. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. You know, projections for him were a little all over the board. Some saw him as a day 3 pick, maybe a little bit higher. But here he is, round 3.
I do know teams that had him listed as a first-round talent. I also had teams that had him listed as a day 3 guy, which is rounds 4 through 7. So him going in the 3rd round kind of fit in the middle.
And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Paul Richardson, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Redskins have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. To throw, it's Rodgers. Caught left side by Cobb. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be marked down deep in Washington territory.
Holding offense.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Hey, check 26.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And left side here, it's Graham. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. The numbers in last week's game for Graham. 5 catches, 78 yards, and a touchdown.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
Now it's Rodgers. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Zach Brown coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Enough to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
He can run for it, and he will. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Back deep for the Redskins, Jamison Crowder. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 7-0 is our score. We'll head back to FedEx Field after this timeout. To throw on 2nd down is Smith. Out to the left, it's complete to Dodson. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Smith finding Dodson that time for a Washington first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Let's go! Green 39!
Now the backup Savage. And his first throw since coming in is incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
3-19!
They go play fake. Now Savage. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
Let's make this one simple. What a foot dragging. Like it.
It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Now Rodgers. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That goes for a gain of 31.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Have a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Two former All-Pros connecting. Rodgers fighting his tight end Graham. Packer first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Let's go.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
And that's complete to Lewis. And down inside the 15 he goes. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield. There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
The speed, I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you like...
And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Ty Montgomery, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Crosby connects on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Good run with Kelly. Brought down, but after we saw a flashy little move, stopped short of the 40. Tremont Williams, a veteran corner there on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll fake the handoff with Savage. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Savage from the 50. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. And nobody was open downfield there. Looked like a pretty clear throwaway.
Yeah, definitely was that. I'm wondering why there wasn't intentional grounding. I know they're saying there's a receiver there in the area. Those darn quarterbacks, they get away with everything.
Spoken like a true defensive back, Mr. Davis.
Did that come out?
It did.
Okay.
Marching back onto the field now, Devontae Adams and company getting set to go. The early returns for him, very good to start this season. Interesting to see if he can keep up that torrid pace.
Yeah, when you're talking about averaging 100 yards a game as a receiver, extrapolate that over 16 games, and you're having a monster season. So, yeah, you love what he's doing early, but I think it's got to go back to the offseason, doesn't it? It's got to go back to the roots, spending time with the guy who's going to throw the ball to him, spending time watching tape, spending time reading defenses, and, of course, getting himself ready to play.
319! Hey, take 26! 319!
They go play action for Montgomery, and now Rodgers. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cobb. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. Two minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
26!
Rodgers now on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Throw left side complete. It's Adams. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
26!
On first and 10, here's Rodgers. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people...
Montgomery hit, and the ball is loose. And the Redskins scoop it. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
After review of the play, The ruling on the field is reversed.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
Rodgers now to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they do get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pickup there, a 22. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. They'll run forward Montgomery. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. His pass caught at the 4. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams, his second touchdown on the season. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
The final shot before break for Savage. On the catch, it's Crowder. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. And we will skip the highlights show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
319.
A play fake to Montgomery. Now Rodgers. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Rodgers now operating from the gun. The connection made. It's Graham. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another 1st down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Forced out to his left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Graham. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. He's up now to 80 yards receiving in the ball game, and he's got a first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. The Packers on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. Throwing now is Rodgers. Stays on his feet, rolling to his right. He may try and run for this. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. That is caught inside the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. He's going to get it running right. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Crosby on now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know the half, they're discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
All right, here we go.
Now it's Savage off the bootleg. And his throw is incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doxson. And now it's third down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. From the gun, here's Savage. It's brought in by Doxson. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. They go play action here on first down. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
No. Check. Patriot. Set. 3-19.
Off of play action. Savage. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Leopard.
Savage now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Set. Blue 90.
Savage wants to throw yet again. Throw left side complete. That's Kelly. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Caught on the right side, Reed. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now Savage. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter
Detroit,
number 4.
Detroit. All right, here we go. 3-19.
Kelly to try to punch it in. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Did your high school have that same push them back cheer?
I was a kicker.
Well, it certainly worked. Didn't matter whether we were kickers or not. That one worked, didn't it? They pushed him back at his last snap of the ball, and boy, they created a nice play for themselves. Would they lose 3 on that one?
Yeah, from the 1 back to the 4. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
It's about a 3-yard pickup there, but more importantly, they're still a few yards away here. It's now 4th down and goal.
Brandon, it's easy to make decisions from right up here where we are, right in the cheap seats, but let's be frank about this one. This isn't even a decision as far as I'm concerned. They have to go for it here. Field goal does you almost no good as time's running out in the game. If you want to win, you have to be aggressive here.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Reset, 18.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. A great move by Montgomery. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Rodgers going to throw, and able to find Graham, complete. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Dancing to his left. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. But it looked like a Packer. Yeah, Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And avoids the contact by sliding. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
319.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Pernell McPhee in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Savage from his goal line here. And he's got his target. It's Vernon Davis. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 13 yards there offset some of the penalty yardage as it's 2nd down. They're giving those short little routes. Tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you've got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
Savage. Crowder's got it over the middle. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
On first down, Savage. This one caught by Crowder. Had a great move on the play as he takes this one past the 25. A gain of 6 there on first. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
And Reed with it over the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Here we go now.
On first down, it's Savage. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And now it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Green 39. Green 39.
Now Savage. He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. This might be a free play for Savage. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take
Still
a whole
first down.
lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now it's Savage. And Davis has it over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Now it's Savage. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Savage. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get him to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position with all 3 timeouts. I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
So with just over a minute to play, this becomes a make-or-break onside kick. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. Well, for a second there, I had flashbacks to a few years ago, the NFC Championship game for the Packers, but here they're able to hold on.
And many things changed in Green Bay after that game. Personnel, people coaching, the whole deal. And in this case, they get it done. No fail like they had in Seattle.
The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. Showed the nice footwork and then hit and drop shy of the 45. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. The Packers on third down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 7. Rodgers handing to Montgomery. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases...
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Tramon Williams. And they've got it very deep in enemy territory. It's inside the 5 at the 3-yard line, 1st and goal. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? You're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh boy, you wish you hadn't.
And they cannot do anything to stop the clock defensively. 3 straight wins to start the campaign now.
And this is where a team, privately, within the confines of their own room, their meeting rooms, the locker room, they start to think to themselves, we're pretty good. We should be a playoff team.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Green Bay, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for Washington, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL.